Yes guys, David here, welcome to BTech. This one's sponsored by Direct Mobiles. Go and check out the best mobile deals at directmobiles.co.uk. Now you might know that I did my own concept renders about the Sony Xperia 5 Mark II just the other day, and I wanted to do a follow-up video on this as well, giving you my wish list for what I hope to see in the upcoming flagship. For me, Xperia 5 was a little bit too similar to Xperia 1. The only real difference was the size, so I would like to see something else to separate it from the Mark I series. An easy way to do that is that they could offer a version that's not 5G capable. Even if all of the other specs were the same as Xperia 1 Mark II, just leaving out the 5G modem would drop the price considerably and arguably would make it a much more attractive purchase for some people, especially people who don't receive a 5G signal. But I do think that maybe we will see a 4G version of this device. Only offering 5G phones does kind of run the risk of some people, not many people, but some people thinking that it's a 5G phone so they can't use it with their 4G SIM and therefore not even consider it. Xperia 1 Mark II comes with a 4K HDR OLED display with a 90Hz refresh rate. Xperia 5 Mark II will have a similar display, although probably without the 4K resolution, but I do think it would be nice if Sony offered customers a choice, and perhaps up the refresh rate on the 5 to 120Hz, or even higher to compensate for the reduction in resolution. I think if they are going to be similarly priced handsets, like they did with the Xperia 1 and Xperia 5, then it's the least they could do. Next on my list is wireless charging. Now there's no reference for this because neither Xperia 1 or Xperia 5 had wireless charging, but for the first time in the Sony flagship, Xperia 1 Mark II does have wireless charging. Now, will it make it over to the Xperia 5 Mark II? Well, it's really hard to say because wireless charging coils are actually quite a large component and they do take up a lot of space inside. It's hard to say whether or not it will make it into the very compact Xperia 5 Mark II, considering that it's going to be even smaller in comparison to last year's models. Sony have never really been too big on wireless charging, so I wouldn't be surprised if they leave it out. Next on my list, and this really is me wishing, and I don't think it will make it onto the device, but I'm going to say it anyway, is Face Unlock. Proper Face Unlock. Now, despite some of the concept renders shown off this phone with a punch hole display, I don't think that is something that Sony will be doing in a rush. And I wouldn't be surprised if it never makes it onto a Sony phone. They are starting to go out of fashion now, with under-display camera tech rumored to be around the corner. Sony have never used a punch hole system, meaning that they have plenty of room in the bezel to put some kind of proper secure 3D facial unlocking system. Sony always have that extra space at the top, but they never use it. There's no dual cameras, there's no 3D system, no LiDAR system like we see in the Pixel series phones and more recently on the P40 series, allowing for touchless control. Okay, to tell you the truth, I could live without the touchless control system, but to me, the phones that have proper 3D face unlock give the best user experience. Xperia handsets do have some type of facial unlocking system, but it's all software based and the effectiveness it relies on the performance of the front camera. So in dark conditions, it will struggle. And I think that is the number one on my wish list for the Xperia 5 Mark II. It needs to have a camera that can take it to the very best on the market at the moment. Xperia 1 Mark II uses 3 12-megapixel sensors, and there's no reason whatsoever to expect that Xperia 5 Mark II will change this in any way. In fact, we can expect the same camera system, but possibly trimmed down slightly. The previous generation Xperia 5 dropped the 960 frames per second shooting mode from the Xperia 1. Other than that, it was pretty much the same. With all the major companies going for high megapixel sensors in their flagship smartphones of late, some Sony fans might be a little bit disappointed that they're still stuck with just 12. But Sony recently gave a briefing where they go into a lot of technical detail about the camera specifications and its performance capabilities. And it does give you an idea of how much involvement the Alpha division have in the development of the Xperia 1 Mark II. I've done a separate video for that. I'd love it if you go and check that out. You can click the tab above or click down in the description for that one. I'd love to know what you think about my wish list. I tried not to make it too unrealistic. Let me know what your wish list is for the Xperia 5 Mark II down in the comments below. And when you're ready to buy your next Sony phone or any mobile phone, make sure you check out the Direct Mobiles website. Over 24 years of award-winning customer service, and they allow you to compare all of the available deals with all the networks right there on the one website. Direct Mobiles are there to find you the best possible price. Their link's down in the description below or search directmobiles.co.uk. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Follow me on social media. I'm David, this is BTech.